What's good, YouTube? Maysex back with another video. Once again, we got my man Will with me. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm up in Indiana, man. It's chilling. When I say chilling, I mean literally.
Yeah,
Every morning it's like 19, 20 degrees with ice and snow, man. How you doing down there?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's cold, but no snow, so
I
I'm
ain't trying to
good.
hear that, man. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, Big Will lived down in Texas, man. I was assuming it was like still 60, 65 degrees or something like that.
No, I wish. Probably in February. By then, by February, we'll be back to normal.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it was in Georgia, where it did get cold down to the 30s sometimes, but yeah, by like late January, mid February, we was back out there like track practice. I remember we by February we out there running. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
can't
miss
beat
that
it.
about the South, man.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, man, we gonna get things started. We got a lot of crazy stuff that's happened over the last week or so, talking football and basketball. So we just gonna hop straight to it, man. And one of the biggest news over the last, I'd say, 7 days is Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss and taking his ways out to Baton Rouge, going a little bit more west officially. And it was rumored. I mean, I think most of us, if you follow college football, most of us knew that he was going to take that bag with LSU. What was it? 7 years, reported $91 million total, $13 million a season. Lane Kiffin definitely getting that bag. What pisses a lot of people off, Ole Miss is they're chasing after a national championship. So they got realistic national championship aspirations. Lane Kiffin, like he said in his, I call it a sign out speech from Ole Miss, he wanted to still coach Ole Miss through the playoffs. The AD and those in those ranks at Ole Miss said, "So long, get lost." Absolutely not. So that's been a very polarizing topic. He did. Lane Kiffin called them out for that. A lot of opinions with that. Also, Lane Kiffin is bringing several assistants as well. So the players will not have a lot of their assistant staffs in addition to Lane Kiffin, which includes the offensive coordinator, wide receiver coach, and the entire strength and conditioning staff. Day one on the early signing period, they picked up several recruits, some top ranked players as well. This is a big time swing for LSU, in my opinion. Recruitment, a lot of drama that's coming with that. Just to leave it up to you, Big Will, like, what's your opinion with the Lane Kiffin?
Man, it's hard because that type of money is hard to turn down. I think the way he went about it is kind of messed up, man. Leaving before the playoffs, bro. Like you're already competing for a championship, or you know what I mean. So it's hard, man. I mean, I'd have to say no. I just have to say no. I don't think he should have did it like that. I think you stay. I think you finish out this season, bro. I mean, you're already competing for a championship, man. And I think just what Nick Saban was saying, man, you gotta think about the players, bro. There's players that came because of you, you know what I'm saying? And now that you're leaving, where does that put them? You know what I mean? Like I think you made a commitment not only to the school, but to them as well. So and he's taking coaches, bro. So that's
Yeah.
man, that's even more kind of like that's a lot, man. I've never heard of anything like this. I mean, even with NFL, you hear about like, so and so is going to coach this team next year, but they're going to finish out the playoffs, or you know what I mean. So it's like they still stay committed, man. They wait till the end. To not wait till the end to me it's kind of messed up. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say it's almost like borderline quitting in a way. I hate to say that because it's like you're already there and then you just quit. You kind of just like I'm out. I'm taking these people with me and that's it. So I don't agree with it, man. And I think that, all it takes is one, you know what I mean? Because I've never heard of a story like this. And I always think, man, just like with everything we see in sports, once one person does, just like NBA free agency, once one person does it, other people do it. And you get on the kids for one to transfer all the time. So for you to do it, it's just not a good look, man. And people are definitely going to follow suit. I doubt this is the last time we hear about this, unless they do like some type of rule change or do something.
He did well. This is an example of somebody doing what's best for them,
Exactly.
his families, and it is conflicting. You touched on it. Like on one end, he's got a family, a legacy that he's trying to build. On the flip side, yeah, the players they're in they're in battle mode. They're still in battle. Playoffs are about to start in a few weeks. Nick Saban, I'm actually going to pull up a quick video. This was on College Game Day last Saturday.
Everybody should be thinking about the players. Everybody should be thinking about the student athletes. What's best for the student athletes? Players should be able to play for his coach for the entire season. Players shouldn't be penalized if a coach leaves, because the committee has the opportunity, if a player or coach doesn't participate, they can sink you in the rankings. So Ole Miss could go down in the rankings, maybe miss a home game. So their players are getting penalized. But we need to take a better approach to the business aspect of what we do in college athletics. In the NFL, you cannot leave your team until you're finished playing. You can't talk to another coach in the regular season. There's a defined time when you can talk to them if they're in the playoffs. That's the way it should be. And we should match the academic calendar with the football calendar, and we shouldn't have an early signing date that conflicts with people wanting to hire an early coach, a portal situation where you got to hire an early coach, fire your coach early. None of this is fair to the player. So this is not a Lane Kiffin conundrum. This is a college football conundrum that we need some leadership to step up and change the rules on how this gets done in terms of coaching searches and opportunities for people to leave.
All right, man. So that just wanted to play that short little clip because, yeah, in the NFL, this is not an issue. You know, any talks or negotiations must be done after the season. College football, really since the NIL era, I think it's been a wild, wild west. It's been a mess. It's been sloppy, unorganized, and you got stuff like this. You know, a lot of this happened because of quote unquote, early signing day period. I remember back like when we were in high school, late 2000s, early 2010s, you know, you had pretty much your main signing day in February. Because of the calendar with early signing day period, LSU needs to bring Lane Kiffin over for the recruitment of those early signees. And so it kind of forces the hand of LSU to make a move like that. And then also it forces Lane Kiffin to make the move right now because of early signing day period. This needs to be matched with the academic calendar so we don't run into this. There needs to be signing periods in the spring rather than wasting it at this point on spring football. This move right here, if they don't make changes, we're going to continue to see it more and more and more.
It's definitely a business now. You know what I'm saying? I think college sports, it's definitely been tainted. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money in it. I mean, there's always been money, but with NIL and all that, it just brings to me a whole nother level. Stuff like this, people are definitely going to make decisions that benefit themselves and not their teams.
Just moving on now, bro. We got the NCAA. Speaking of the Conference Championship week, we got NCAA Football Conference Championship week, Big Ten showdown. Of course, I think this is going to be the most intriguing, but maybe I'm Big Ten biased. We got Indiana versus Ohio State, two undefeated teams, one versus number 2 ranked in the nation. Winner most likely will secure the top football seed, which is huge for playoff positioning. In the SEC, we got Georgia and Alabama, traditional powerhouse battle. It seems like every other year it's Georgia versus Bama. Honestly, I think the loser might potentially even make it in as well. Big 12, we got BYU versus Texas Tech. ACC, we got Duke versus Virginia. In the Mountain West, Boise State versus UNLV. In the American Conference, the AAC, we got Tulane versus North Texas. In Conference USA, we got Kennesaw State versus Jacksonville State. So yeah, man. So with that said, what game are you going to be locked on this weekend for Conference Championship week?
I think Blue Devils and Virginia, you know, I'm going to take Virginia just because, you know, it's an East Coast team. So I'm going to take, you know, a team out there used to live in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. So, you know, I'm going to take that. And also I'm going to watch Tulane and North Texas because
North Texas has been balling this year, man.
Yeah, but North Texas, I told you I work in Denton, bro. Their stadium's not too far down from where I work. You know what I'm saying? Just jump on the highway and I've only seen it like a few times. I didn't even know it was that close to me, to be honest. So I'm gonna watch those two games. I'm gonna root for North Texas. I'm gonna root for Virginia, man.
Okay, well, you already know the game I'm gonna be watching and glued to. That's IU versus Ohio State, bro.
I already knew it.
We want our get back. You know, we only lost twice last year.
Yeah.
We only lost one regular season game, and that was to Ohio State. We may dominate them. I personally think. No, I'm just kidding. Ohio State, they are the favorites to win.
Yeah, man.
Ohio State, they're the favorites to win, but it is here in Indy, at Lucas Oil. So it's going to be a home game for IU. Obviously, this is historical for us. Last year was, of course, but this year we're undefeated going into the conference championship game. The best team we've ever had. Mendoza, potential number 1 pick. I am looking forward to seeing him against the closest thing you may find to an NFL defense in Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Our offense has been rolling. Nobody's really been able to stop us. And then IU has a very underrated defense as well. Ohio State, obviously, they're Ohio State. They got a lot of NFL prospects on the defensive side of the ball. But this year, to me, they don't have the offense that we typically see in Ohio State. Julian Sayin made a video on him coming out of high school, 5-star recruit. I knew he was going to be good. He's still young, though. And, I could definitely see him struggling against IU. But all in all, they got Jeremiah Smith. They say he's the next Julio Jones out there. He's 19 years old, but he looks like he's 26. 6'3", like 225, 4.4 speed. He's gonna be tough to handle, but to me, this is gonna be the most lit game, and you already know I'm excited and I'm expecting IU to pull out that victory. You heard me?
Yeah, I mean, I probably will watch that game. I'm gonna be honest, I probably will. That it's I always watch the big games, so man, that is gonna be a good game.
Yeah, man.
Are you gonna be going to anything?
What'd you say?
You gonna be going to it?
Shoot, I wish if I had ticket price money. You already know most of those tickets gonna have a comma on it. So
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I mean, but I'll watch it on that TV though. But yeah, man, just some other games though. Definitely don't want to sleep on the ACC. A lot of controversy with Duke being elected. I believe they're 7-5. I don't know how that worked in the ACC because Miami is actually, they're fighting for a college football bid right now. They have the much better record, but the way the conference or the divisions are split up, somehow Duke at 7-5 was able to get in over Miami, which I believe they're 10-2.
Dang,
I'm not sure what they're ranked. But yeah, there's a lot of controversy with that. So Virginia's been pretty good this year. They're heavily favored. So, I mean, I will have my TV glued on that. I'll be flipping back and forth between the Big Ten and the ACC. So,
man, yeah, dang. How's that controversy, bro? That's kind of just like that's messed up, man. 7-5, 10-2. That's
yeah, it is. So, college football I love college football, but there's some sloppiness for sure. And then a group of 5 team, the AAC, Tulane versus North Texas. This is an opportunity for the automatic bid for the group of 5, get a playoff bid. The winner of this game, most likely. They will most likely claim a major bowl slot at the very least. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move forward now, man. We gotta talk some NBA too, bro. Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, two players that at one point we thought they could be potentially the face of the league, and they definitely, I'd say, they're on the downswing of their careers at this moment. They're at the low point, but for 2 completely different reasons. With Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, I know you follow the NBA very closely. You're more of like the NBA expert with that. So I definitely want to see your take. The question I have, more likely to bounce back. Ja Morant's recent history, he missed a lot of time last season with injury and suspension, which has been kind of his calling card the last few seasons. There's growing controversy, frustration with the coaching staff and the front office. He's been reportedly unhappy about his usage on the team with this new head coach, also how many touches he's getting in the game. And he's acting out. That's the name of the game for NBA players when they, more specifically the star players, when they don't get their way, they throw a fit. And that's pretty much what's going on with Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Flip over to Zion Williamson, a lot different reasons Some, I don't know if it's under his control or not with the injuries and everything. He's given his inconsistent health. He just doesn't have the impact on the court like we were seeing his first few years, though, of course, those were injury riddled as well. We talked about Zion earlier and the season. He's currently, of course, he's hurt right now. Two former high expectation talents went number 1 and number 2 in the 2019 draft. Who's more likely to bounce back and kind of resurrect their NBA career? Because both of them are definitely trending down. Who do you think is more likely to bounce back and get back into the at least all-star, all NBA caliber type of play?
It's hard, man. It's like, man, they're both kind of on the same level, but I'd have to say Ja. And when I say same level, I mean of just like the decline, you know what I'm saying? But I'd just say Ja, man. I mean, I think, like we've talked about, Zion he just doesn't seem like he loves basketball. Like he just seems like he's just there. He's got the talent. He's got paid now. It just seems like he's just there, man. Just like an employee who shows up for the paycheck. The only thing different is he gets clout and everything else.
Right.
And he gets a bigger paycheck than we're getting. But I would just say Ja, because I think Ja, like, it's really self-sabotage. I mean, in the beginning, it really wasn't injuries that was holding him back. It was the off-the-court stuff, all the gun stuff and whatever. Now it's injuries. Now he's clashing with his coaches. With Zion and Ja, it's like I said, man, Ja, you can tell he at least for right now, he still loves basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to play basketball. I think you can work with that more than someone who just doesn't want to play basketball. I think he probably does need to get out of Memphis. Let's just keep it real. At this point, but it's hard with Ja because it's like you go to a bigger market. I'm not saying it's even be funny. It's like if he's having this time in a small market, imagine him going to like, an LA or which I don't think that happened. Well, maybe the Clippers. I don't think the Lakers are going to touch him, but LA or, New York or something. It's like where there's even more temptations and all that. I mean, who knows what he does? You know what I'm saying? Like he just needs a solid coach, I feel like. And he definitely needs some work on his maturity. You know what I mean? So I would say Ja, man. I just think Zion, the injuries and his injuries, I'm starting to kind of wonder, is he like a Kawhi Leonard low key? Like, is he someone who gets told 3 weeks and then he says, I'll take 2 months or 3 months? You know what I'm saying? I'm just questioning Zion because it's like he's always in the best shape now. Last 2 seasons, it's been I'm in the best shape of my life, but you're getting injured. Sounds like some Anthony Davis stuff. You know what I mean? But Anthony Davis is legit injured, but at least Anthony Davis will come back. Like, you know what I mean? He may be out for 3 weeks, but he'll come back, play a little bit, get injured, do the same thing. But Zion, he's missing a lot of the season. I don't know, man. I think after a while, that potential and that talent, it dries up after a while. I mean, he's 25, bro. There's no way he should be injured this much. He's had some off the court stuff with the P-Star stuff that was going on and all that. That was getting some headlines. That's kind of gone away. So he's had some of his off the court stuff, but the thing it comes down to me the most is he just doesn't love basketball. And I just don't think you're going to survive.
Hey, man, I mean, I'm actually on board. Like, if I say who's more likely to bounce back, it's Ja Morant, because a lot of that self-sabotage like behavior, I mean, I think that can be more easily fixed. And like you said, somebody who at least appears like his heart isn't in the game. And even, the last 2 summers he has gotten himself in shape and he's still getting hurt. I mean, that does sound a little unlucky, but man, all his injuries, like you said, man,
yeah, why? Saying, bro.
Anthony Davis, he gets out just like he returned this week. He was gone for a week or 2, or it was probably longer than a week, but he was gone for a couple, but he's back and he's hooping. Why is Zion Williamson every injury he's out and it's a season-ending injury, or he's out for 3, 4 to 5 months at a time?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just like it's, but I think with Ja too. I also think with him, about 3 years ago, we were talking about this dude could be the face of the league. So
right. Zion too.
Yeah, but Zion, I think we saw way more from Ja though. Like. And then Ja was like, I don't know, man. People were comparing him to Iverson, but I'm like, I think
I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, because they were saying like, the tats and the hair and all, but I'm like, bro, from a talent standpoint, no disrespect to Iverson, bro, but I think he's better than Iverson. You know what I'm saying? And in my, like, when his motor's going,
people ain't gonna like that in the comments, but
Yeah, when his motor was on, he was playing like Westbrook.
So yeah, man, we definitely hope that they can bounce back and get back on track with their careers.
Yeah.
And speaking of careers, man, what's going on with CP3 and the LA Clippers, man? It just pretty much caught everybody off guard. Reportedly, and you actually broke the news to me with CP3 just abruptly, just out of nowhere, gets cut from the Clippers. This was supposed to be his reunion, or it was a reunion, but it was supposed to be his goodbye tour. You know, he's 40 years old, same high school class as LeBron James. A lot of people don't know that because Chris Paul came out of college in 05. Obviously, LeBron out of high school in 03. They were in the McDonald's All-Star game hooping together. That's how long Chris Paul's been around. I was watching Gil's Arena, or the Gilbert Arena show, whatever Fed-related reason why he has to change his name, but they were talking about the last 2 or 3 weeks, Chris Paul and Tyronn Lue have not talked. Like, they walk past each other, practice, walk past each other in the game. So
that's crazy.
It was getting pretty toxic there. The split reportedly stemmed from disagreements over accountability, team direction, and there was issues with Chris Paul's basically 20-plus NBA season experience and leadership after Clippers are starting off horribly compared to expectations. So this is Chris Paul's last season. I'm sure how he thought that the season would go, not even 2 months into the season being sent home.
Nah, man, I saw some of the same stuff, man. You know, but I kind of have a bit of a different angle now, kind of think about it a little more than maybe when we spoke about it. I mean, when you say that his 20-plus NBA season, his experience, the first thing that came to mind is this. I think back a few seasons ago when Kawhi had won it with Toronto and everybody, Kawhi's the best player in the league. And then he goes to the Clippers. And it's like, we finally have got to see, we've have enough sample size to see what a Kawhi Leonard brand team is like. You bring a veteran like Chris Paul, now he's leaving. You know what I'm saying? You brought him in to be a leader, and you don't want that type of leadership. And it's like, I feel like this. We kind of gave Kawhi I think he's getting a less and less of a pass now, but we gave him a pass because he had those 2 rings, right? And like I was telling you, if Chris Paul had 2 rings and he comes in and he's doing this stuff, everybody's fine with it. Everyone's fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's like, I don't want to be coach. I don't want to be, held accountable, all this stuff. Like, we're all good with it. Even with Tyronn Lue, he has that championship from 2016. So we're cool with his coaching and whatever, he's won technically, so we're cool with that. But it's like a player who has 20 seasons in the league, doesn't have the championship, comes in and I can only imagine what he's saying. Like, you know what I mean? Especially with them losing. And then with the Clippers, we don't know what direction they're taking. We don't know where they're going. I feel like they're just hanging on. Like, with getting James Harden, all that, I feel like that's just like, we're hanging on right now. We know something, like, we're going to have to blow this up at one point. We don't know what's going on with Kawhi. So that to me is like, it falls on Kawhi. Part of it to me falls on Kawhi. Other part, I look at it like this with Chris Paul. Now, I did see this, that he was clashing with management. And I think that's different than clashing with coaches and players, because management, they sign your checks. Now, if you're saying Tyronn Lue can't coach, okay, I mean, I think he's a good coach. But now when you're saying the GM ain't good, I don't know what he's doing, the owner, all that stuff, that's when I think it becomes, and I'm not saying he was saying that. I'm just saying if it was taken there, if it was like him questioning them, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who bring you on. They're the ones who sign your check. So, and I did see something where they were saying players wanted him to stay home. Like, players were fine with this. And that's another thing. That's like, that kind of shows. And that's why I say a Kawhi ran team, the players didn't have expectations. They don't want that type of leadership. They don't want that type of accountability. I did see something where James Harden has said it shocked him too. Yeah. I thought back, I'm like, that makes sense because James Harden has success with Chris Paul and Houston. Yeah. So I can understand that. So it's like, I would say I'm like kind of split on it, but I'm also kind of like, man, that may be a blessing in disguise for Chris Paul, because maybe he can just go to a contender. The Lakers are actually looking good, and this is a good time to go to the Lakers now. You know what I'm saying?
15 years of rumors of him.
Exactly. And then with the whole 2011 stuff, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think this may be a blessing in disguise. And I actually think this time, like, usually we throw the Lakers, like, oh, Lakers. But now it's like they're legit contenders now. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to go to a good spot. I'm sure they want that. I'm sure the Lakers want that type of accountability and that type of, leadership. So go somewhere and that actually wants it and actually where you can win.
Yeah, man. It's pretty frustrating. It could be a blessing in disguise. I would love for him to go to the Lakers, bro. I think, especially if they can win it. Chris Paul is one of my favorite point guards of all time. That would be a great way for him to go out into retirement.
So, man, I'm hoping he gets one more shot, especially this retirement season, bro. He can't just go out like that. It's like Iverson. Iverson just, I don't know what happened to him.
Well, he ruined his career. Moving on, bro. You showed me something yesterday, bro. It kind of got me going. I mean, people know me as essentially more the new school, pro new school. You're more pro old school, but even with this talk, it's like, all right, y'all taking it too far with bashing the players from back in the day, man. And of course, we talking about a 90s player, actually 2 players from the 90s. Paul Pierce drafted in 98, and then obviously Michael Jordan won his championships in the 90s. So you showed me a little clip that I'm going to show now, and I just want to discuss that. I also want our viewers to take a look at this if they haven't seen this already. I'm going to go ahead and share this now. We'll watch this. I want to hear your take.
So Jordan had no bag?
I didn't say no bag. I just don't think
Kobe
he
and Jordan aren't bad guys.
1-2 dribble pull-ups.
Kobe had unbelievable footwork too, like different.
Like what's up? All right. What do we define as a bag? First of all, just handles to the shot.
Beautiful.
Like wow. Then get
not
it
just
off.
handles, but you have a plethora.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
The defense does this.
They
I
don't
cannot go to this.
You're not predictable.
Yes. You have multiple answers to the test.
You have counters.
To me, that's a bad.
I think they had the capability, but they didn't have to counter because Mike was
1-2 dribble
you
pull
knew
up.
you're not stopping him to get to a spot, and he was athletic enough to jump the shoot over you.
Y'all agree
give you a
with the
shoulder
people that
bump.
say Mike had a limited bag?
Mike had limited bag.
I don't agree. I just don't think he had to use his bag.
You guys are crazy.
He didn't need to do all that fancy shit. He just wanted to. He was right to the business.
Bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Shea got more of a bag though. Shea usually gets to his, he can get to his spot.
Bro,
but Mike had a bag, but didn't have to use it.
So impeccable.
Kobe's footwork, I think, was better. I think Mike
Kobe had better footwork than Mike.
I think Kobe.
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I rewatched.
I think it's just in advance. Like Kobe had to. He had to play against better. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike didn't have to do as much as
you doing
pivot, left hand off the backboard.
Doing the Mike played against mechanics thing right now.
I'm not saying Kobe's a better player. I'm just saying footwork wise, I think Kobe had to evolve his footwork because he's playing against better talent. Like
Mike had limited bag, dog.
Did Paul Pierce have a bag? Because to me, like, what is this guy's game besides a bag?
I think they had the capability.
Like, so many moves to get by guys.
Mike had
he roasted him, bro.
Kobe had a bag. He used it a little more than Mike. I think he was capable of using different moves. He didn't have to. Like bigger guards use a bump. They know how to get to their spots, make a couple moves.
He said, "What did this guy have a bag?"
I didn't say no.
Yeah, I know Paul Pierce off camera said, why don't you ever talk about me on my own show like that?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, man. So, as they're talking about how limited his bag is with over a minute full of just crazy bag game, I guess. And this is the example for me of why the whole, like we've seen with Ryan Clark and, Peter Schrager on Get Up. Oh, did you play? Then I'm sorry, you shouldn't have an opinion. You know, that whole sentiment.
Yeah,
I know me and you have had some disagreements about that. But this is an example of just because you play does not mean that you know what the hell you're talking about. Michael Jordan, limited bag.
But you know what, though? I'm going to be honest. Just like I was saying to you, bro, that to me was a straight like clickbait headline. Not even clickbait, just I need some clicks. I need some attention because they're playing the highlights while saying he didn't have a bag. And almost every highlight, he's showing you he had a bag, bro. Like that's what kind of gets me. It's like, what? Like maybe you should play the highlights where maybe he's missing dunks or he's missing like his middies or something. But they're showing they might as well just played the 88 dunk contest or 87 dunk contest, and they've been like, oh, he can't dunk either. Like I just didn't understand that, bro. Like the highlights are justifying, what we're all thinking. Like, bro, he has a bag, but
I'm not sure if they were watching that though.
Oh, okay, so I guess the person who uploaded it must have
it might have been the person who's pro Michael Jordan that said, listen to these clowns, I'm gonna play highlights just full of his bag.
Okay, all right, yeah, that definitely makes sense. I just thought in today's they get clicks, they do that and play that, so that get the comments rolling and
yeah.
But no, I mean, I think like we've talked about, I think it's a bigger issue where I've never remembered, and I've been watching NBA for a while, criticizing a previous generation or era of basketball, like the 90s and now 80s is getting criticized. Like we don't even talk about the 60s, 70s. We pass them over. Now it's straight 80s, 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
true.
80s, 90s, it's like we can find so much criticism with that. And that's what's kind of that's why, to me, in my opinion, the 90s is the greatest era of basketball. Because think about it. Is anybody going to sit here 20 years from now and care about the early 2010s, the mid 2010s, the late 2010s? No. I mean, for me, I think you're almost stopped watching. You said what?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Nah, bro. I mean, but I'm saying we're not gonna have that much energy towards it because we already know that's not the greatest era of basketball. Like, there's no energy I have to put towards that. I can tell you when Durant went to the Warriors for those 3 seasons, it was a wrap, bro. Like, we already knew.
Say that with Jordan.
You said what?
You can say that with Jordan.
But the difference is this. Jordan was drafted to that team and did it. Like, it wasn't some, like, we saw the evolution of it from the 80s to getting Pippen to the early 90s, losing to Detroit, to finally winning, and then to cap everything off in 98, beating the Jazz with the final shot. But Durant just going to the Warriors, just losing, going. So man, I don't need even, and I love the Heat era. Don't get me wrong, I did like the Heat era, but even with that, there was no evolution, bro. They started winning. Well, it took a little bit, but they got to the finals. They won a couple finals. They lost. LeBron left. If you talk about 2010s, I think about the Heat, and then Kevin Durant stuff. I'm cool on that. But I also look at it like this. Paul Pierce, Danny Green, they know better. If Danny Green doesn't, Paul Pierce does. So that's why, to me,
knows better.
Yeah, so that's why, to me, bro, it's like that was just crazy to me. When I saw that, I was really like, they're just looking for some views. They're trying to stir up something. There's no way they really believe this. There's just no way. And then to say, like, the guy was trying to get another subject going. Kobe had better footwork than Jordan. Bro, Kobe copied Jordan. How is he better than the originator? Like, but luckily they were smart enough to be like, no, we can't go down that boat. Now
I was happy when I saw Paul Pierce say that. I thought they were going to agree with that.
Like, come on, he copied him. So nah, man, I just, it's crazy to me, man. It's just where we're at, I guess. Just where we're at.
Yeah, player podcast era, man. So,
but I do want to agree with one thing, because I did kind of give you some pushback. You are right, man. You don't got to play the game to have knowledge about something. That really showed it right there. That I know about the Ryan Clark clip you're talking about, but that showed it to me. That was like, yeah, bro. Okay, I agree with you.
But moving on, man. We got the NFL division rivalry week. We got a few matchups, I should say. It's not the last week of the season. It's not week 17 or week 18, whatever the last week is now in the 17-game season. I think it's week 18, where typically you find majority of the matchups are division-based. But we do actually got a few, and I thought it was pretty notable to mention that. We got the Indianapolis Colts versus Jacksonville Jaguars. And me being a Colts fan, we all know we've been cold, and me and you've talked about the Colts and a little bit of our worries mainly with Daniel Jones. We coming off of a loss this past week. Again, a tough division battle against the Houston Texans last week. Offense didn't look like we were accustomed to the first few weeks of the season. This could definitely affect playoff seeding. And the Colts, we try to lock up the division. We got Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. We all know that's one of the most classic rivalries. And one of your predictions, man, with the team trending up with the Ravens, and you definitely a month or so plus later, Ravens are one of the hotter teams in the league. Every snap could definitely affect playoff positioning for sure, wild card chances in the divisional standings. And then moving into the NFC, another game that I thought would be very interesting is the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. So, which this may be the most storied rivalry in the NFL as far as history goes. Both Bears and Packers are really good this year. So, yeah, man, with some of these games coming up, which one to you do you think will catch your attention the most?
For me, bro, I'm looking forward to Bears, Green Bay, and I'm definitely looking forward to Indy and Jacksonville. with Bears and Green Bay, bro. I mean, the Bears, like, didn't they start 0-2? You know, I mean, people were kind of questioning Caleb Williams. Yeah. And man, they've really come alive, bro. Like they're a legit contender, which I think is good, man. Like for the Bears, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a former Bears fan. In high school, I was a Bears fan. I'm serious, man. I really was a Bears fan, bro. Like I really was. My stuff ended though with Forte and Cutler and Marshall. That's when I stopped. When they lost 2011, but that's a story for another day.
They did start 0-2 as well. Huh? They did start 0-2, including losing 21-52 to the Lions. So
yeah, but yeah, man. So it's like I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, obviously, but it's just good to see them with the quarterback because I know I think the last time people were really excited about them having a quarterback was Jay Cutler.
Cutler, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Caleb Williams is definitely looking legit. Their offense is looking good, man. Swift, I'm gonna be honest, I thought Swift was done.
Like, I did too.
He's doing really well. Their defense is looking really good too, man. Yeah. I mean, they made the Eagles look bad, which, I mean, they started off 4-0. So I was thinking, like, I thought they were gonna, and then maybe some fantasy stuff I haven't heard. So I'm thinking, like, bro, they're about to kill this year. And they've been 4-4 since. They haven't done well since. So. But the Bears, nonetheless, man.
They're 8-4.
Yeah, they're 8-4.
Yeah, 4-4. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then Green Bay, with Jordan Love, he was another quarterback I was looking at for fantasy, but I was scared to take him because with injuries. But now they're playing really well. So, and then with Micah Parsons on the man, bro. Like, you kind of forget. I'm going to be honest. I forgot how good he was. Like, he's almost at the quarterback every time. It's pretty crazy, man. Like, just watching him again.
That was already good, too.
Exactly, man. Like, he hasn't missed a beat, So Green Bay picking him up, I don't know who their GM is, but he deserves a raise, man. Because right there, defense can win you a championship. You know what I'm saying? And their defense looks really good. So I'm looking forward to that game. And then with Indy and Jacksonville, that, like we talked about with Indy, bro, it's like, I can't remember what we said in that first one. I know I was like, I think when we both kind of on, like, well, it's gonna kind of fall on Daniel Jones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we both said that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like for them, it's like I hate to say, like, I'm not really surprised. And now looking how they're looking now, man, if they get to the playoffs, bro, I don't have much hope, man. So, Jacksonville's a team who's they're playing pretty well, and they lost to Houston. I don't know, man. I really don't know. They need this win. That's all I can say. They lose another L, man. I think that may be over. And if Daniel Jones plays bad, that's even more salt in your wound, bro. So I know you got some thoughts. I want to hear definitely hear what you got to say.
Yeah, well, as we're recording now, Dallas and Detroit are playing. Just a little random thing. 3-3.
I'm about to watch that too because Dallas they're looking good.
Yeah, they've been pretty hot lately. But yeah, Indianapolis, we're now 8-4. We're actually now second in our division with that loss. And Jacksonville, of all teams, is actually leading the AFC South.
Yeah.
When you look at it, we've lost 2 in a row now. Daniel Jones coming back to earth. It was definitely a hot start. The NFL's smart. Defensive coordinators are smart as hell. Defensive players are smart as hell.
Yeah,
you give them a few weeks and they gonna figure you out if you're a system guy or if you're a guy that wins despite the system. And Daniel Jones is clearly showing that he's a system guy. So
yeah,
makes it a little harder on Jonathan Taylor because defenses are starting to pinch in a little bit more. They're starting to play a little closer because Daniel Jones isn't threading the needle like he was the first 4 to 5 weeks of the season, maybe 6 weeks of the season. So yeah, I mean, not to sound like a homer again, with the college football, but yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna be watching that one from start to finish. I'm all in. Ravens and Steelers kind of don't care that much, to be honest. You talked about it off camera with the Steelers. Like, we kind of knew that they would be that solid team to start off. And then as the season goes in, November, December, they start to just kind of tail down. Yeah. And that was also your trending down team was the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that was going to lose steam as the season went on. They've lost 2 in a row. They're 6-6. Baltimore, who started off 1-5, are now 6-6. I mean, your predictions, I'm pretty spot on, man, with the trends, both in the AFC North. But yeah, man, I think just moving on. any final takes or anything on your mind, I like to leave it up to you. You usually have a lot of things on your heart that you like to get off typically. Is there anything you got before we leave?
Nah, man. I know one of the things we were going to talk about was Kansas City. And I just want to say, bro, I hate to say it, man. I don't want to speak too soon because I thought this about the Warriors too, but the glory days may be over unless they really retool. You know what I'm saying? I think the glory days may be over. I think Patrick Mahomes is still going to be pretty solid, but I think team wise they're going to be
solid.
You said what?
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty solid. I mean, even if he's not, bro. You said what?
That's it. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I think. I mean, look, man. I look at it like this, bro. Well, what are you thinking? Why do you say that?
Yeah, I was just saying, pretty solid. I think Patrick Mahomes is more elite than pretty solid.
I mean, look,
it's just me.
I think this though. At one point, we were saying this dude. I think, look, bro, I got a little T-shirt jersey of Mahomes. So I think after he beat Philly, I was like, you got to give it to this dude 3 rings. But anyway, I'm just saying this. At one point, he was considered maybe the greatest of all time. Some people were already saying that when he lost to Philly. Now we were like, oh, everybody, man, see, because they got blown out. I think he is still one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But I think team-wise, I think the team. That's the thing. I think he's going to be, I mean, look at Marino. Marino put up great numbers, but the team just didn't do much. So I just look at Kansas City and I think, man, is it the end of an era? I'd hate for that to happen. I'm looking at Kansas City and I think, man, is it the end? They're 6-6. They've been talking about Kelsey retiring for a while. Could be the end of an era. And for me, man, I think this is, I didn't really watch all the Brady stuff, but Mahomes, I'm definitely going to remember this.
We'll have to see. I mean, you make it sound like after 12 games, they're like 3-9 or something like that. But talking about end of an era, but that's something we definitely we'll see how this week goes, man. I think they'll be just fine. They're 6-6, still 5 games left into the season, so we'll just have to see. But I think that's all we got for today. If y'all made it to the end of this podcast, y'all some real ones, man. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate the support. Be on the lookout. We got another video, of course, coming next week. Also, college football videos. Definitely stay tuned. We almost done with the series there, man. But we're going to go ahead and bounce up out of here. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.
Cheers.